Well, the latest that we're getting from Nepal at this hour, 4 earthquakes, 2 of them big ones, measuring 7.3 and 6.9, hitting Nepal today. The first one struck around 12:35 p.m., the second one just after 1 p.m. 2 smaller quakes measuring 5.4 and 4.8 were also recorded. In the latest information that we're getting, at least 4 people have been killed in Nepal's Chautara town east of the capital, Kathmandu, after the quake destroyed several buildings in that area. According to news agency Reuters, several houses have also reportedly collapsed in the capital, Kathmandu. Tremors felt along several parts of north and east India, including the capital, around 12:40 this afternoon. Well, we're told the first earthquake had its epicenter between Kathmandu and Mount Everest. The second big quake struck near Kodari in Nepal, according to the US Geological Survey. Kathmandu airport at this point shut down as a precautionary measure following those quakes. Pallav Bagla joining us on the phone line at this point. Pallav, the airport being shut down, is this a regular precautionary measure?
An airport being shut down is a standard operating procedure because the authorities need to really check if the runway has been damaged in an earthquake. A 7.3 magnitude earthquake in a region very close to the airport is certainly a very large earthquake which has occurred. On April 25th, when the 7.9 magnitude earthquake happened, the airport escaped by and large undamaged. So probably the authorities are checking whether the runway has suffered any damage, etc.
Right.
And this is part of standard operating procedure that you don't allow planes to take off or land during an earthquake or when aftershocks are happening repeatedly.
But Pallav, by any stretch, today's, at least one of today's quakes, a magnitude 7.3 quake, a big one?
It is a very big quake. Anything above 6 magnitude earthquake is an earthquake which can cause both damage to buildings and also cause loss of life and destruction. 7.3 is a very large earthquake, and that is a serious earthquake, which India in their classification calls a great earthquake. So that is an earthquake which would have caused a lot of scare in the region where it occurred in the Kathmandu Valley.
All right, we are just getting information that at least one Indian Air Force craft, an Mi-17 V5, is now airborne from Kathmandu to assess damages. Pallav, we're also hearing of landslides in the Chautara area, at least 4 people killed, we're told. At this point, are casualties this time likely to escalate in the same manner that we saw following the April 25th earthquake, or do you see any difference in the quakes today?
It is very difficult to say what would be the casualties because I think assessments would happen as time goes by. But an earthquake of 7.9 magnitude when it occurred in the same region has probably already taken down the buildings which were vulnerable. So today, buildings which have either cracked or suffered damage would suffer more damage, and one doesn't expect people to be living in structures which are already damaged. And there is already a heightened state of alert in the region. It is for that reason I don't think that one should expect as many casualties as one saw in the earlier quake. And the well-known journalist Kanakmani Dixit, when he was reporting for NDTV, also said that the casualties are not expected to be as high for the simple reason that there is a heightened state of alert, and some of the buildings which were vulnerable have already come down, and people would not be living in those.
Stay with us for a moment. We're also being joined on the phone line now from Nepal by journalist C.K. Lal. Thank you for speaking to NDTV. Where exactly are you positioned, Mr. Lal, and what is the latest that you can tell us?
I am in the southwest corner of Kathmandu. The area is called Kuleshwar, a relatively newly built area. Relatively speaking, of course, safer. We can see that there is panic among people. So, extra people ran